Good morning to all of you. First, my pranams to Mahaswami Shri Shri Shivkumar Swamiji, whom I had the good fortune of meeting just a little while ago on my arrival here. I am indeed honored to be in the presence of Shri Shri Siddhalinga Swamiji, and I am particularly beholden to Professor Siddhappa, whom I have known for a long time, for having invited me to be part of this convocation program. I had come to this institution some 7 or 8 or 10 years ago for some other program, and I was greatly impressed by the enormous work that has been done by Mahaswami Shri Shri Shivkumar Swamiji in spreading education with moral and spiritual values to a very large number of children from poor families from around the state and elsewhere, and also for having set up this wonderful institution, the Siddhaganga Institute of Technology. Of course, first of all, I'd like to congratulate the graduating students for having completed their graduation studies creditably and having been admitted to the various degrees. And also, of course, I'll congratulate those who will be receiving the medals in due course of this morning. Well, the only condition I requested Professor Siddhappa to accept is I said I will not give a written speech because I felt that reading from a written speech is an extremely boring occupation. I thought I'd speak extempore, and he kindly accepted that condition. First of all, I'd like to tell you that I actually grew up in a place not very far from Tumkur, a place called Madhugiri. Of course, the name itself indicates Madhu, and Giri is a lovely place, used to be. And my father, who was a teacher in mathematics, he was teaching at the municipal high school in Madhugiri, which had just then been started. And at that point of time, now I'm going back to a long time, when I was attending primary school there, we used to see nearly every week or so either a tiger or a leopard which had been shot by a shikar, and the body carried in a bullock cart with the shikar in front, with the gun slung around his shoulder, and he would take this carcass to the assistant commissioner's office, and all the kids, school children like me, would go behind that bullock cart in a procession, and there would be the usual drum, dum dum dum, dum dum dum, dum dum dum. And the shikar would get 10 rupees for having killed a tiger and 5 rupees for having killed a leopard, because in those days they were called vermin. Of course, nowadays we all go to all kinds of game parks and with great difficulty may sight a tiger. Actually, it took me 50 years thereafter to see a full-grown tiger in the free surroundings of Bandipur only a couple of years ago, and unfortunately that old grand tiger, the prince, was found dead some months ago. But then I was able to see that great animal in its splendor. Now, I chose to discuss this morning, though of course briefly, about the progress that India has made in 70 years as an independent country. Of course, one of the important things that has happened is that India has remained a democracy, excepting for this period of 1974 to 77, when there was a state of emergency declared by the then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi. Well, Indian democracy may be imperfect in some respects, certainly. There is Netagiri, election funding through black money and so forth. But nevertheless, it is a democracy that has been functioning with reasonably regular elections and peaceful changes of leadership and power. Other countries emerging from colonialism have not been so lucky. For example, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Indonesia, and the African countries, because they've all seen one-party government or military dictatorship or one-family government institutionalized. In fact, our neighbor, Pakistan, only yesterday they celebrated that Nawaz Sharif was going to be thrown out because of corruption charges. But all that happened is that he made way for his brother, who has become Prime Minister, and the brother's son has become the Prime Minister of Punjab. So that's for the democracy there. But I was very impressed to read what Dr. Sri Sri Sivakumar Swamiji has said in his message. As a remarkable piece of rediscovery of what the Italian philosopher Carlo Mazzini said. I'll just read this because many of you may not have read this. This is what is quoted from Radhakrishnan, but this is regarding what Mazzini says. Democracy is the progress of all, though under the leadership of the wisest and the best, not merely the best born. We want leaders who are not anxious to keep their seats of leadership, but who are prepared to tell the truth and guide us to the right solution of our problems. There is temptation for an uneducated or half-educated democracy to put in place of power men of forensic ability, political dexterity, or money power. Such a temptation is difficult to overcome unless the electorate has intelligence, ability, public spirit, and independence, qualities which cannot be got to order. And this is where the great Swamiji here has been trying to impart a change that develop people who have intelligence, who have ability, public spirit, and independence. So I think it's a great tribute to the work of this great Swamiji here, and I wish this institution all success in the many years to come, and that they will succeed in this mission. Now, I would like to say that one of the very important things that has taken place in India in the last 70 years is in fact what I would call as power shift, not electric power, but political and social power. Because there was a great dominance of the elite classes of society some 70, 80 or 100 years ago, and this has been reduced very substantially. Of course, still people say there is the aristocracy, the new netas, dynastic politics and all that. Nevertheless, the policies of affirmative action, reservations, some under the Mandal formula and so on, have certainly improved access to power, to economic growth, to a much wider section of society, although much more needs to be done, without a doubt. But now, in a rather humorous way, if I may say, there is a quest for everyone to get a backward tag. This is very unfortunate. I hope this is going to be a passing phase. I don't think we want to call ourselves backward and claim benefits, but rather to say that we are forward and would like to help other people. Now, of course, it would be something good if we can change over from the present formulas of affirmative action to include people who suffer from all kinds of disabilities, economic, social, and so forth, rather than only use caste as a criterion. But whether that will happen or so is very difficult to say because there is a huge vested interest in it, and so it may take a long time to overcome that force of vested interest. Now, shortly after the country became independent, we had an era of dam building and spread of irrigation, water harnessing from the rivers and irrigation. And we had the great dams, Bakranangal, Hirakud, Chambal, Tungabhadra, dams across the Kali and all those places. And without a doubt, this has underpinned our progress in food production and improved agriculture. Now, there used to be a long history of famines in India, which of course are now a thing of the past, and I'll refer to the Green Revolution in passing a little later. But of course, the present day opposition to dams led by people like Medha Patkar, in the case of Narmada, wasn't there in those days. But I do want to recall a story. We've been living in the Nilgiris for a long time, and we had a lady working with my wife in our home, and she belonged to the Kannada lands and grown up somewhere around Mysore, and then moved on to Nilgiris. And she had sought employment and was working with my wife's grandmother as a young girl. And later on, my wife inherited her, and she used to work with us. So some many years later, once when we were coming to Bangalore, She said, Amma, ನಾನು ಮಂಡ್ಯ ಮೈಸೂರಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡೇ ಇಲ್ಲ, ನಾನು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕೂಡ ಬರ್ತೇನೆ, ಬನ್ನಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ವಿ. So we took that lady with us, and when she came around Mysore and Sringapatna and Mandya and all that, she said she could recall the time and all those areas were barren lands with no agriculture, no growth of anything, rocks everywhere and very hot places. And she was stunned to see all those places very green and fertile. So people who oppose dams must go and see these places and get a more balanced view that opposing all dams is not a great virtue, because you have to harness natural resources to spread prosperity, to give employment, to give better living conditions. Now, in India, the per capita storage of water is about 1/4 or 1/5 of that in the United States. So the United States, of course, a big country, they built a very large number of dams in the period of about 1800 to 1900, including some of the biggest ones in the world. And now, in fact, in the world today, the biggest single dam is probably across the Yangtze River in China, called the Three Gorges Dam. Now, they had to rehabilitate 1 million people. And to do that, what they did was to establish 3 full towns altogether with complete residential accommodation, educational facilities, hospitals, factories to give employment and all that, and rehabilitate the entire people. Now, when we were doing the Narmada Dam, the Sardar Sarovar Dam, the total number of people that had to be relocated was only 100,000, and yet so much of song and dance has been made. And I'm told by people in the irrigation business that the package offered to the people that had to move out in Narmada is one of the best in the country. And even so, we had a lot of people who still kept opposing those dams. Now let me turn to manufacture. I'll just recall that, of course, some time ago, like by 1750, about some 250 years ago, India accounted for 1/4 of the global manufacture. Of course, it was not machine age, it was pre-machine age. And China accounted for 1/4 of the global manufactured products. At the time of independence, India had very little manufacturing capability, mostly textile mills, some cement plants, and some sugar plants. Bicycle manufacture just started in India at the time of independence. And the only big workshops were those that had been put up by the railways for maintaining the locomotives and wagons and so forth, and some structural steel fabrication for industrial structures. So, under Nehru's leadership, we started having the industrial program in the country. The public sector units like HMT, BHEL, Hindustan Photo Films, Earth Movers, Aeronautics, all these things were set up. Of course, we had cooperation with countries like Britain, Germany, Switzerland, Japan, Soviet Union, and so forth. At that time, the US was not interested in setting up ventures for manufacture in India because they said that it might take away jobs from the United States. Now, usually, if you take a look at the Southeast Asian countries, manufacturing accounts for something like 25% of their gross domestic product. But in India, it's only 15%. In the case of China, it's more than 25%. It is really manufacturing that enables employment to be created. And therefore, the fact that we have a low manufacturing base is a matter of serious concern. But I'll come back to this point a little later. Now, steel capabilities prior to independence were only in 3 small plants. That, of course, the Jamshedpur Tata plant is somewhat larger. There's a smaller plant in Burnpur, and then the small plant in Bhadravati. Then, of course, the Rourkela, Durgapur, Bhilai, Bokaro plants were all built up. And, of course, that was a big transformation in India's ability to make steel. We now make about not quite 100 plus million tons of steel, which is significant, but not really all that dramatic. Starting off at roughly the same base as India, China is producing 500 or 600 or 700 million tons of steel a year, almost 5-6 times that of India. I'll briefly refer to nuclear power because it's been my area of work. You know, we built our first nuclear power station in 1969, and the second one somewhere in 70 period. And the Madras station, which is intimately connected, we put up our first unit in 1983. The importance was that is the first time that we built a nuclear power station entirely on our own. It's our own design, our own equipment and our own manufacture. So these days when you talk about Make in India, it appears new, but for some of us who started this program, we started Make in India a long time ago. Actually today we've got 22 nuclear reactors which are operational, out of which 16 of them have been designed and built and run by our own scientists and technologists in our industry. In fact, the Kaiga unit, which received a great deal of controversy in this state, I remember myself having participated in discussions with Prime Minister Hegde, Ramakrishna Hegde, and later, when so many environmentalists thought that we were destroying the environment of the Western Ghats around Kaiga. We did not lose a single tree there. We built those power units without losing any tree cover because we replanted everything that was coming in the way of the construction. It is the most beautiful nuclear power station anywhere in the world, and all those 4 units have been working extremely well. We are putting up 2 more units there of our own design, which will come up in due course of time. Fairly recently, the Indian government announced that we will be building 10 reactors of 700 megawatts in different parts of India, 7,000 megawatts program, which is actually one of the biggest programs after the Fukushima accident that happened in 2011. And all of these reactors will be built on our own. Of course, we're also working with the Russians, and we've got 2 large reactors in Kudankulam built with Russian cooperation, and 4 more are coming there. There again, there was a big opposition to the completion of that power station just before it was about to be commissioned, because the fisher people there had become very concerned about the impact of the accident in Japan, because they used to see every day on the television about the reactors blowing up and about the explosion due to the hydrogen that had been built up and so forth. So they were very concerned. So it took a long time to convince the people there that these reactors were safe. In fact, I had to do a great deal of work myself in that connection. I had to give 50 or 60 speeches, write extensively, and then I headed a committee which was appointed by the then Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu to meet the agitators and to meet the other people and then convince them that the conditions of Kudankulam were completely different from those that were there in Japan. And so eventually they got started, and those units are all doing very well. Incidentally, all our nuclear power units are producing power at a cost lower than coal-fired power stations in the same area. So all these states like Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Kerala, Pondicherry, they would like to buy power from the nuclear power corporation because it's more economic to do so. Now, let me turn now briefly to this information technology, which in a sense imparted new vigor to India altogether. Of course, many of you are all studying computer science and technology, so it's all old story to you. But let me tell you, the early incubation of electronics knowledge was really in the public sector enterprises like the Electronics Corporation of India, Bharat Electronics here, DRDL, and other places. And of course, but then that initial training certainly benefited the companies like Tata Consulting Services, Infosys, Wipro, HCL, and so forth to build up their very important IT business. And in fact, it's their contribution to India that enabled India to overcome its very weak balance of payments position in terms of foreign exchange and gave us, shall we say, room to reorder our economy. Because you see, until then, the ills of the public sector, license, permit, control, Raj, had continued. And of course, it was only the important economic reforms of 91 and 92 under P.V. Narasimha Rao and Dr. Manmohan Singh that made a change. And then, of course, the great growth in the automobile industry took place, the golden quadrilateral under Atal Bihari Vajpayee, explosion of mobile telephony and so forth. Of course, now, when we read about people like Satya Nadella or Sundar Pichai or Sabir Bhatia, it's not any more news to us because the Indian talent potential has actually contributed a very great deal to the global growth of the IT industry. Well, in 1998, India became a nuclear weapons state. Of course, we were what I would call as a reluctant nuclear weapon state, because we had had our first test way back in 1974, but we did not weaponize until 1998, and that too it happened because the Pakistanis had already moved ahead, and therefore it became necessary for us also to develop nuclear weapons, both as a counterweight to Pakistani ambitions as well as that of China. Now, during the period 2004 to 9, Indian economy grew at around 8% per annum. And at that point of time, people thought that, well, we had made the big breakthrough. We had crossed the threshold of perpetual poverty and underdevelopment, and that we would be on a path of continued, sustained high economic growth. Well, that didn't happen. 2009 to 2014, in spite of the good work that had been done by Dr. Manmohan Singh and his team before that, happened to be the period of many scams, Spectrum, Coal Block, Commonwealth Games, Augusta helicopter, and all those things. And then, of course, the 2014 elections brought back the single-party rule under Prime Minister Modi. Now, he has been saying that his mantra is development for all. He's talking about Make in India, Startup in India, Swachh Bharat, Stand Up India, Ganga cleaning and all that. All very important programs, and all of which we should all hope will succeed over a period of time. Though, of course, the first few years under the new dispensation haven't been as dramatic as people had expected, largely also because of the fact that after 2008 there has been a slump in the global economy, and demands have come down for many things around the world. Now, the new government wishes to, of course, strengthen the manufacturing sector, but then the problem is that because the global economic slowdown and excess capacity has already been built up in China, increasing the manufacture hasn't happened in India. And also, new manufacture is likely to be more automated or robotized. So it's now trying to undercut a basic premise that manufacturing will necessarily create jobs. So we've got to wait and see how this transition is going to be managed. Undoubtedly, we must do much more in manufacture. Without that, our economy will never be strong. In fact, the big import and defense equipment is a huge burden on the country, and at least there we should try to do a great deal more in terms of doing things on our own instead of importing. Now, recently, our Minister of Transport, Gadkari, made a very important observation. He said India will not go driverless. I hope he is right, because if we are going to go driverless, even some of the millions of drivers around the country, they will be left high and dry on the street without any means of livelihood. In fact, it's been estimated that if driverless cars were to come in the US, 3 million people will lose jobs in the US. That's very much more than anything that Trump or anybody else can replace with any other kind of options. So this is something where technology options have to be exercised with great caution having regard to societal issues. Now, you know, I was very interested. I saw your book, The Souvenir, and 2 points I noticed which I want to draw attention to. In your vision statement, it's been said to develop young minds in the learning environment of high academic ambience by synergizing spiritual values and technological competence. Now, this is a very, very important statement, because I have a feeling that in many other technology institutions, there's hardly any mention of spiritual values. Secondly, in your mission, it also states to continuously strive for the total development of students by educating them in the state-of-art technologies and helping them imbibe professional ethics and societal commitments so that they emerge as competent professionals to meet global challenges. And also in your statement on quality, the Siddhaganga Institute is committed to quality. You are saying that you want to produce competent engineers and managers with high professional ethics and social responsibility. These are words extremely important, and I am wanting to recall that from your own documents of this institution. Now, I would like to refer to some aspects. Well, I mean, I'll do a little summing up of the positive aspects of the last 70 years and also of the jobs that needs to be done, especially for the younger people who are graduating today, points to note. Well, of course, as I mentioned already, enduring democracy and regular elections is a positive achievement. Progress in food production, the great work done by C. Subramaniam and Dr. M.S. Swaminathan. Of course, there are many, many problems on the farmer front, fragmentation of land holdings, need for technology, all of that is there. You know, recently, during the time when Prime Minister Modi visited Israel, one Israeli commentator said that Israel's progress in agriculture is because it's 90% science and technology and 10% hard labor. And some Indian commented that in India it is 90% hard labor and only 10% science and technology. So that shows the leeway to be made. Then remarkable milk production in India under the leadership of Dr. Kurian, including in Karnataka. Remarkable progress in atomic energy and space fields. I think the work done in these two fields is the envy of even some of the advanced countries of the world. Now, electric power production in India went up from 2 gigawatts, a gigawatt is 1,000 megawatts, to 315 gigawatts. Now, India is the third biggest producer of power jointly with Japan. USA and China are ahead of us, and India will overtake Japan soon. But then there are many problems in the electricity sector. The selling price is less than the production price, production cost. We lose 1 rupee per kilowatt hour for every kilowatt hour produced, and therefore the more kilowatt hours we produce, the more is the loss, and that is reflecting as a subsidy. Now, this is an unsustainable position. No industry can survive on that basis. So, the big challenge there is, over a period of time, to see to it that electricity industry, energy industries become economically viable. Coal production has reached 600 million tons a year. We import about roughly 100 million tons a year. But future production in India will be difficult because most of the coal is located in the remaining forested areas in eastern part of India. Long-term energy should shift more to nuclear, solar and wind, eventually fusion energy, and maybe at some point of time we can extract the heat from the hot rocks underneath the earth. Now, the many challenges India faces, poverty is still daunting, affecting something like 300 million people. Malnutrition, illiteracy, and poor healthcare are all there. Growth of urban sprawls, flood of immigrants from rural areas, inadequate infrastructure growth. When I was a boy of 10 years of age, I asked my father, what was the population of Bangalore? He said, he thought for a while, 1 lakh, he said. Today, you know the population of Bangalore and see how fast it has grown and the kind of problems it has created. And of course, India is one of the few countries that has built very few new cities. Only one, Chandigarh, was built, and all the growth that has taken place, the urban growth that has taken place, is just by stretching the old towns and cities to the limits. And whereas in China, which I visited last year sometime, I found everywhere new cities coming up with totally new infrastructure of housing, business premises, schools, hospitals, industries, and so forth. Water scarcity will be a great challenge. We have to find ways and means of conserving water and recycling water. Problems of solid disposal, it confronts us everywhere. The moment we leave our house, which may be kept clean and neat, we find mountains of garbage, plastics, and construction debris everywhere. And I think we must really be ashamed that this country, which has got one of the largest number of scientists and technologists and educated people, hasn't found mechanisms to manage our waste better. Now, I want to refer to environmental activism because I'm in Bangalore. For everything, Bangalore is beda, beda, beda. So how will you ever make progress if you don't build what do you call it, flyovers, if you don't build steel over bridges and all that, and then keep on saying some 100 trees are growing, 100 trees will get cut and all that. All these trees were planted by somebody, or maybe nature itself planted them, but you can always replant trees. When I was in China, I noticed They are planting trees everywhere in the new cities, and those trees not saplings of 1 or 2 years. They are transplanting 8 or 10-year-old small trees from tree farms, so that all these trees take root in no time or in a very short time. So here in Bangalore, those of us who are fortunate and having fairly good houses and so on, we keep saying status quo, maintain all the trees, maintain everything. And for all the new people that are coming from the countryside and all that, we don't want to give them a reasonable quality of life. So we have to accept that we have to manage our environmental resources better in a more rational manner. Status quo is easy to argue for those who already have things in them, and not for those who are at the bottom of the heap. Now I must want to comment briefly on education and public health. Education, there is a huge quantitative increase. Of course, we also have got some centers of excellence like the IITs, Institute of Science, institutes like yourselves. But our quantitative expansion has not barely been accompanied by any qualitative expansion. There are huge areas of improvement of quality that is required to be done. Dr. Siddhappa reminded me that I was chairman of that committee that was appointed some years ago, and we made some very good recommendations, but none of them have been implemented, sorry to say. And recently, Mr. Narayan Murthy, Infosys founder chairman, he regretted the fact that in 60 years of independent India, not one single new idea has come out of India. Now, he may have been too harsh in saying that. We can point out some good things here and there. But the fact is, in the 60 years before that, we had a Raman, we had a J.C. Bose, we had a Satyen Bose, in spite of the fact that we were living under colonial conditions and not much support was there, we still produced great minds. Now, why haven't we done that? It's a matter that we all need to ask ourselves. Public health, we've got fantastic doctors in this country, without a doubt, many good hospitals. But the average person is certainly not in a position to access them at all. The public health initiatives through primary health centers, district hospitals, they're in a very poor shape. And that's a matter that we need to keep in mind. Now, so in a sense, India has done reasonably well, but neither remarkable nor outstanding. If you were to compare with China, we actually stand a poor comparison. As in the case of individuals, so in the case of India, no one can be certain about the future. Will India eliminate poverty and degradation in the next 25 years when we reach 2047? It is possible but not inevitable. India has a real opportunity to build a more equitable society despite divisions of religion, caste, language, ethnicity and so forth. Some activists sadly exaggerate the differences and divisions. Others would like to paper over them as imaginary. But I think there is reality on both, and we must find where the balance lies. We have to remember that the strength of a chain depends on its weakest link. It's an old saying. You may have a chain, but if one link is weak, the chain will give way. Like that, even in our society, we have to work towards the upliftment of everyone, including the weakest. So inclusive development is an absolute must. And therefore, we have, then the other thing is that we have to, it's very important to combine rational thinking with full respect for traditional knowledge. It is not enough to hark back and say everything was nice and good and great 1,000 or 2,000 or 3,000 years ago. We live in it today. In those days, the population was very small. Nature was bountiful. Today it's not so. There are many people and resources are limited. So we got to have the right mix of rationality and traditional wisdom. Now, for the young people, there are great opportunities. For those who are graduating today in industry, business, public service, as self-employed professionals and as entrepreneurs, you can create wealth and jobs. But remember, to be a good leader, you must be a good follower also. This is what Gandhiji told. If you have to be a good leader, first be a good follower. And then we must remember that in our society we will continue to have, for a long time to come, a lot of people who do not enjoy the benefits like you and I have of good education and good upbringing. So we've got to do whatever we can to help the weaker sections of society by donating our time, donating our savings, by helping those who are around us who need help. That we must never forget. Now, I want to recall when I was a young fellow, about 15 years of age, I was then going to the intermediate college in Bangalore, and we were living in Wilson Gardens. And I still remember I used to split wood for making fuel for cooking in the house. At that time, I could have never imagined, by any stretch of imagination, that I would be building nuclear power stations. But it happened. So similarly, with many of you, you will be doing things that are completely beyond your present imagination. But what is important is hard work, teamwork. Indians are very poor at teamwork. Of course, we require both individual excellence and group excellence. You cannot do one only and not the other. You've got to do both. So please cultivate that habit. Now, on importance of unity, I want to recall that Britain ruled India for some 150 years or more, and there were only a few thousand British people in India. Not very many. And many of them, well, some of them were English, some are from Scottish, some Welsh, some Irish, and some from other European countries. And they were all fighting among themselves in those places where they were there. But when they came to India, they all joined together in order to exploit India and control India and suck away our wealth. But when they went back, they would once again get back to their own fights. So a small number of people dominated us because this country has been so thoroughly fragmented and disunited. So therefore, I want to recall from the Upanishads, rather from the Rig Veda, only one last stanza of the Rig Veda, a small part of it. It says, Sangachatvam Samvadadvam Sammo Manamsi Janatam. Let us walk together. Let us speak with one voice. Let us think alike. Now, this doesn't mean that we should have no differences, no debate, no discussion. No. You do all that. But at the end of the day, you agree upon what you want to do and do that in a combined, united, and joint fashion for the good of society. I wish all of you all the very best. I wish the Institute a great future, and my pranams once again to the great Swamiji and to you.
Thank you very much for your inspiring speech, sir. Now the Dean Academic, Dr. K. Shashi Shekhar, is requested to invite the gold medalists and award winners to receive the same.
Honorable Dr. M.R. Srinivasan, I request you to kindly hand over the medals, awards and certificates. Congratulations to all the candidates. I request the rank holders and award winners to receive the medals and awards from the chief guest. First, I call upon Sharana Gowda of Civil Engineering. He is awarded 4 gold medals for securing first rank. SIT gold medal, SIT Alumni Kerala and Qatar chapter gold medal, late Sri Sudham Srisat Memorial Gold Medal, instituted by Sri Ketan Srisat, Sri Pratul A. Patel Gold Medal. Next is Pooja Shri. She is awarded 6 gold medals for securing Miss Pooja Shri of Mechanical Engineering. She is awarded 6 gold medals for securing first rank. SIT Gold Medal, Faculty Department of Mechanical Engineering Gold Medal, Dr. Sojan Lal Gold Medal, Srimati Meera Reddy Gold Medal, instituted by Dr. KPG Reddy. Tumkur Nanjappa Memorial Gold Medal, instituted by Dr. N. Chandrasekhar. Srimati Siddhappa Gold Medal, instituted by Dr. H.R. Purushottam. Next, I call Mr. Naveen D. of Electrical and Electronics Engineering. He is awarded SIT Gold Medal and K.N. Vijay Kumar Cash Award for securing first rank. Professor Basavaraja Gold Medal for securing highest marks in network analysis. ಬಂದೆ ಸರ್ ಒಂದು ನಿಮಿಷ. Miss Amulya of Electronics and Communication. She is awarded 2 gold medals for securing first rank, SIT Gold Medal and Sri Shekhar B. Chandrasekhar Gold Medal. Mr. Akshay Patel of Chemical Engineering is awarded 6 gold medals for securing first rank. SIT Gold Medal, Srimati Vijay Devi and Sri Kevalchand Ovra Gold Medal, instituted by Sri Ravindra Ora. Dr. T.S. Mallikarjunia Memorial Gold Medal, instituted by Sri T.M. Swami. SIT Alumni USA Chapter Gold Medal, Sri K. Sridhar Gold Medal. Sri Sakkar Nadar and Srimati Chinnatai Ammai Gold Medal, instituted by Professor Rajguru, former professor and head Department of Chemical Engineering. Next, I call upon Miss Vinuta of Instrumentation Technology. She is awarded 2 gold medals for securing first rank. SIT Gold Medal, Srimati Lakshmi Narasamma and Sri Anjaneya Shetty Memorial Gold Medal, instituted by Professor G.A. Shashikumar. Next, Miss Shri Raksha K.S. of Industrial Engineering and Management. She is awarded 1 gold medal for securing first rank. Next, I call upon Miss Kumari Pooja Rani of Computer Science and Engineering. She is awarded 2 gold medals for securing first rank, SIT Gold Medal and Sri Gopi Keshavan Gold Medal. Next, I call Miss Kajol R. of Information Science and Engineering, who is awarded 2 gold medals for securing first rank, SIT Gold Medal and Alumni of Information Science and Engineering Department Gold Medal. Next is Miss Purnima of Telecommunication Engineering. She is awarded 2 gold medals for securing first rank, SIT Gold Medal and Sri Sridhar Kadambi Gold Medal. Next is Miss Sanjana Sheshadri of Biotechnology. She is awarded 2 gold medals for securing first rank, SIT Gold Medal and Sri B.L. Siddhaya and Sri Girbanamma Gold Medal, instituted by Dr. B.S. Gauri Shankar. Next is Mr. Kushal J. of Architecture. He is awarded 2 gold medals. SIT Gold Medal for securing first rank. Rotary Tumkur Gold Medal in the presence of Rotary Secretary for topping in architecture design project. Next is Miss Tejaswini of Master of Computer Applications. She is awarded SIT Gold Medal for securing first rank. Mr. Abhishek R, Master of Business Administration, is awarded 2 gold medals. SIT Gold Medal for securing first rank. Shri Rudrappa Sholapur Memorial Gold Medal for securing first rank in finance stream. Next is Mr. Ramaningappa Zalki of MTech Structural Engineering. He is awarded SIT Gold Medal for securing first rank. Next is Veeran Gaud Patil, MTech Thermal Power Engineering. He is awarded 2 gold medals for securing first rank, SIT Gold Medal and Tumkur Nanjappa Memorial Gold Medal instituted by Dr. N. Chandrasekhar. Next is Mr. Kishore ACA, MTech Computer Science Engineering. He is awarded SIT Gold Medal for securing first rank. Next, Mr. Amit BM, MTech Manufacturing Science and Engineering. He is awarded SIT Gold Medal for securing first rank. Next, Ms. Bhuvana IS, MTech Transportation Engineering and Management. She is awarded SIT Gold Medal for securing first rank. Next, Ms. Manasa R, MTech Computer Network Engineering. He is awarded SIT Gold Medal for securing first rank. Mr. Mohan G, MTech Computer Integrated Manufacturing. He is awarded SIT Gold Medal for securing first rank. Mr. Shreyas Anantye, MTech Digital Communication Engineering. He is awarded SIT Gold Medal for securing first rank. Mr. Niranjan CH, MTech Nanotechnology. He is awarded SIT Gold Medal for securing first rank. Mr. Arun Ashok, MTech Thermal Power Engineering. He is awarded Dr. Basavaraju Gold Medal instituted by Dr. K.L. Shivbasappa, H4D, Department of Chemical Engineering, for securing second highest CGPA among all the PG students of all branches. Ms. Kavya of Civil Engineering is awarded Srimati Pratibha Channabasapaya Gold Medal for a girl student securing highest CGPA in Civil Engineering. Miss Veda KP of Civil Engineering is awarded Srimati Dakshayanamma and Professor B. Gangadharaya Gold Medal for securing highest marks in the subject Reinforced Cement Concrete Structures, and Sri G.S. Parmeshwaraya Gold Medal instituted by his brother G.S.S. Murthy for securing highest marks scored in water resource subject. Mr. Gautam Reddy MB of Civil Engineering is awarded late B. Guru Shantaya and late G.R. Manjunath Memorial Gold Medal instituted by S.M. Kumar Swamy and Friends for securing highest marks in structural analysis. Ms. Jayashri MM of Electronics and Communication Engineering is awarded Sri B. Shivarna and Srimati Nagaratnama Gold Medal instituted by Dr. B.S. Shashikala for securing highest marks in third semester mathematics. Miss Aishwarya DR, Computer Science and Engineering, is awarded D. Basavaraju Gold Medal instituted by Dr. K.L. Shivabasappa, HOD, former HOD Department of Chemical Engineering, for securing highest CGPA among all the students of all branches of engineering. Mr. Bharat GB of Electronics and Communication Engineering is awarded Sri S. Vishwanathan Gold Medal for securing highest marks in network analysis. Miss Megha SN of Telecommunication Engineering is awarded Dr. Krishna Prabhu Gold Medal for securing second highest CGPA in Telecommunication Engineering. Ms. Chandu Shri HG of Master of Business Administration is awarded Dr. Manu N. Kulkarni Cash Award for securing first rank in HR stream. Following students are awarded in their absentia: Mr. Uma Shankar of Mechanical, Ms. Vidyashri M.Tech Signal Processing, and Ms. Prithvi M.Tech Power Electronics. Mr. Uma Shankar of Mechanical Engineering is awarded Dr. M.N. Channabasappa Gold Medal for securing highest marks in mathematics 1 to 4 semester across all the UG programs. Now I once again call Ms. Pooja Shri R, who is awarded Dr. Shri Shivkumara Swamiji Gold Medal for securing highest CGPA among the students of all branches of engineering. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. The respected Dean, Industry Institute Interface, Dr. K. Divyananda, is requested to invite the Director, Dr. M. N. Channabasappa, to administer the oath to the graduating students.
May I request the respected Dr. M. N. Channabasappa, Director, Siddhaganga Institute of Technology, to administer the oath to the graduating students.
All the graduating students, will you please kindly stand up for the ceremonial oath. So we shall start. As I read out, you please repeat whatever I tell you very clearly and audibly. That is the request. There is some explanation before we start. Upanishads are receptacles of ancient Indian wisdom. The valuable knowledge created by those rishis and gurus is meant to benefit the mankind. Taittiriya Upanishad contains very interesting and useful advice from the Guru to the Shishya at the time of his leaving the Gurukula after the completion of his education. The advice is in the form of simple sentences addressed to the student. In this program of oath taking, we will follow an interesting format. I request you to play two roles, the role of the Guru and the role of the Shishya. When I read out a sentence, let the Guru in you pronounce that sentence addressed to the Shishya in you, and let the Shishya listen with complete attention and respect. The text is supplied to you in Devanagari and Kannada scripts. Let us begin. When I read out, let your pronouncements be clear and audible. Satyam vada. Speak the truth. Dharmam chara. Live righteously. Swadhyaya pravachanabhyam na pramaditavyam. Do not stop self-learning and scholarly discourses. Matrudevo bhava. Love your mother as God. Pitrudevo bhava. Adore your father as God. Acharya devo bhava. Respect your teacher as God. Athithi devo bhava. Honor your guest as God. Prajatantum ma vyavachetsi. Do not cut the human chain of God's creation. Yat kinchit deyam tat shraddhaya deyam. If you have something to give, give that with faith. Ashraddhaya nadeyam. Give not without faith. Shriya deyam. Give with grace. Hriya deyam. Give with humility. Samvida deyam. Give with understanding. Yesha adeshaha. Yesha upadeshaha. This is instruction. Now that, friends, you have all become graduates, my hearty congratulations to each one of you, and I now request to turn your tussle from left to right, now that you have become graduates. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. The respected chairman, Dr. K. Siddhappa, is requested to invite His Holiness Sri Sri Siddhalinga Swamiji for his benediction.
Reverend Swamiji, I humbly request you to kindly deliver the benediction address.
गुरुरादितनादिष्ट गुरोः परमदैवतं गुरोः परतरं नास्ति तस्मै ಶ್ರೀ ಗುರವೇ ನಮಃ. ಪೂಜ್ಯ ಗುರುದೇವರನ್ನು ಹನುಮಾನದಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಮರಿಸಿಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತಾ, ಚೀಫ್ ಗೆಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ಅಕೇಶನ್ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಶ್ರೀನಿವಾಸನ್, ಗವರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಕೌನ್ಸಿಲ್ ಚೇರ್ಮನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದಿ ಪ್ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಅಕೇಶನ್ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಸಿದ್ದಪ್ಪ, ಅವರ ನಬಲ್ ಸೆಕ್ರೆಟರಿ ಶ್ರೀ ಟಿ ಕೆ ನಂಜುಂಡಪ್ಪ, our governing council members, our respected director Dr. M. Channabasappa, our principal Dr. Shivkumariya, and the heads of the departments, faculty members, non-teaching staff, and my dear graduating students and their dear parents and invitees. Have been assigned to read out the message of His Holiness Dr. Shri Shivkumar Swamiji. I am very happy to participate in the 8th graduation day ceremony of SIT under the autonomous system. I am also happy to learn that about 75% of the graduating students have already got job placements through campus recruitment process. My hearty congratulations to all the successful students and the enabling faculty and staff of SIT. My dear students, your professional career is starting from today. I am quite sure that the knowledge and skills you have acquired in SIT would enable you to meet the challenges of the present competitive world. On this occasion, it is my wish that you remember the following points in your professional practice. Continuous learning will place you in an advantageous position. Proper time management enables you to be comfortable with your profession and family. The core guiding principle of Indian lifestyle is spirituality. Spirituality does not mean that we run away from worldly responsibilities. It essentially means work hard with honesty and integrity and do not fold. We should meaningfully participate in our democratic system, which is the largest in the world. In this connection, I recall the following. It's already mentioned by Srinivasan. I once again read out. Democracy is the progress of all, through all, under the leadership of the wisest and the best, not merely the best born. We want leaders who are not anxious to keep their seats of leadership, but who are prepared to tell the truth and guide us to the right solution of our problems. There is temptation for an uneducated or half-educated democracy to put in place of power men of forensic ability, political dexterity, or money power. Such a temptation is difficult to overcome unless the electorate has intelligence, ability, public spirit, and independence qualities which cannot be got to order. It is therefore essential that we take all possible care by voting for the wisest and the best. You are fortunate that you have been administered the oath by a great personality, by Dr. Channabasappa. I hope that you will follow the oath in letter and spirit throughout your life and shine better in your career in all levels. My dear graduating students, I wish you all success and prosperity in your future career. Please keep in touch with your institute. We rejoice hearing about your progress. Shivam Bhuyat.
The respected chairman, Dr. K. Siddhappa, is requested to officially declare the ceremony dissolved.
I declare the graduation ceremony dissolved.
All are requested to rise for the national anthem. I request all of you to kindly stand up for the national anthem, and I request all of you to kindly remain standing till the graduation ceremony procession leaves the hall completely.
जनगणमनाधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंधु गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभाशिष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
There is a group photo with the rank holders. I request all the rank holders to please join the group photo. Please, all the rank holders, please come in the front. All rank holders and medal winners, please come on the dais. I request all of you to kindly remain in your place till the convocation procession leaves. I request all of you to kindly remain there.
Thank you.